Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Wood and Wild Outdoors. We're in my hunting shed. I'm getting some stuff together. We're fixing to go out to our property. I got to check on a trail camera that I've got that's having issues with the signal. Um, Probably do some weed eating. I might take the sprayer, spray some access trails. I'll show you guys my shed real quick. We got all of our duck decoys and sticks and platforms, saddles, all that jazz. Um, just shout out to Lone Wolf. Uh, got the old .5 down here. I'm fixing to actually swap my seat out with another guy, a local guy. He's got the original .5 seat, and I've got the mesh seat. And it's just, I stand 90% of the time, so it's just not a real big thing for me to have that comfortable of a seat. So I think the original seat will do me better, give me more platform room. But yeah, guys, this is the old hunting slash fishing slash tool shed workshop. So, all right, I'm gonna get this stuff together and we'll get back with you guys in a minute. Boy, I need to clean this place up, but oh well. I decided I'm probably going to hang a couple more trail cameras. As you guys can see, I've just got stuff everywhere. So, but I know where it's all at, so that's all that matters. This is my trail camera box. I've had this thing for I don't know how long. I run these Moultries. I don't know if this is the single gen edge or if this is the Edge 2. I think this is the Edge 2, but love Moultrie. I've always used Moultrie. I'll always use Moultrie. Hard to beat. As you can see, I still have one of these bad boys. Yeah, check that out. You know what's crazy is this is still probably one of the best cameras I own. This thing still works, still takes fantastic pictures, never gives me issues, and lasts forever. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think for now I'm just gonna grab the Edge and put it out. I've already got two others out, so I need to get this one out. I'm paying for it. I might as well have it out. So there's a couple scrapes I'm thinking about throwing it up on, but we'll see. I'm gonna get sprayed down with the old Sawyers. I know they say don't spray it on while you got your garments on, but man, I'm telling you right now, if you guys aren't using this, game changer. You will not have ticks. None of that stuff. Stuff works excellent. I've been using this for years now. Won't use anything else. Well, we're here. Back dealing with the feeder spot. I changed the batteries in this camera last week and turned the camera back on, but it didn't. Haven't gotten any pictures all week. And last time we were here, all that corn was on the ground, and that big time was on the ground, and now it's gone. So there's been something here, and let's see if we can figure out what's going on with this camera. Finding the signal. Well, we got a light, so it says it's connected. So we'll see if that fixed it. All right. I got my, actually went and picked up an old gravity feeder from my uncle's the other day. I'm gonna probably swap it out with this feeder. This feeder is just not, it's junk. It's trashed. I might end up doing something different with it, but for now I think I'm just going to either haul it to the house or push it over to the side and leave it. But all right, we'll see if that fixes that camera. I also forgot while I was here, I bought this trophy rock. I've used these in the past. A lot of mineral for some reason doesn't work on our property, but these do. So we're going to put this out. I didn't bring any feed with me today, so deer are already coming to this spot. They love these rocks, so we're gonna put this one out. All right, so I figured while I was at the spot, I might as well climb up on one of my sets. This set is for, there's a main ridge that runs northeast to southwest right here on our property. A bunch of drainage drop off down to the creek bottom. It's real hard to traverse down there. It's a lot of rocks, great big rocks. So up here on top, this isn't the very top of the ridge. This is about the top third of the ridge. And then there's a big bench that connects two fingers that come off of this ridge point. During pre-rut and the rut, we get a lot of traveling on this bench back and forth. This spot right here and one other spot on our farm are the two places you want to be when the time gets right. It's your best opportunity at seeing a good buck. summertime, we'll have bucks. We don't really, I mean, it's great for inventory, get pictures of them and whatnot, but this farm hunts best the last week of October, the first 2 weeks of November. Then it gets good again middle to late December. We hold a lot of does on this property and usually have really good, at least a handful of good bucks. But this stand right here, and the way you have to hunt this stand is, our property gets used mainly on southerly winds. So you actually have to set in this spot. Once the thermals start to pull up, you want a wind out of the south or a southerly direction where your scent is going to go in these tops. When it hits that open spot, it's going to suck right up. It's not going to fall down in the drainages where that bench is at. You can hunt this on a north wind, but the chances of you seeing a good buck are pretty slim. They don't tend to use this side of the ridge as much on northerly winds as they do southerly winds. So I got up in here. I mean, it's summertime. I think today's the official day of summer, beginning of summer. I need to do some trimming. I gotta trim some of these limbs, and that way, once I leave here, I know this spot's ready to go. I don't have to come back until I'm ready to crawl up in it and hunt. So I'm gonna get to it. All right, so we made it over to where back in the late winter, early spring, when we started getting good ground thaws, I came in and I frost seeded some clover. Actually, clover and chicory. I used the seed blends I used were Domain Outdoors, Hot Chick, and Wingman. I didn't do any soil tests. I typically know out here about what the soil is going to be. I mean, I should have checked anyway, but I didn't. I just broadcasted it right into the thatch that was already there, and just hoped that it would come up. It did come up. It germinated well. We've had a lot of water this spring and early summer. This bottom on our property is the biggest open spot that we have on this whole place. This property is very topography rich. It's a lot of creek drainages, a lot of creek bottoms. One big main ridge, bunch of finger ridges. So most of it's hills. There's not very many open spots. This is one of them. It's in a bottom, almost directly in the center of our property. So that's why I decided to put this clover in here. Over the years, this bottom has hunted extremely well if you can get the right wind direction. So fixing to, I mowed the clover once this year with my tractor and my box blade. Didn't wait long enough between rain and it drying out. Come down, got most of it brush hogged. Didn't get all of it because I ended up getting the tractor stuck. I had to take my truck down there and get the tractor out. So today I didn't bring the tractor. I brought my weed eater, and I brought some regular string. I brought my brush attachment head, and then I also bought this new, on the way here, I bought this head from Tractor Supply. I've been seeing these for a while. I thought, it looks cool, might be kind of gimmicky, but I'm going to give it a shot. They knocked it down to like $8.99 from like almost $40. So it's the original Weed Shark. I'd never even heard of these until I walked upon it on one day in Tractor Supply, and I thought, that looks pretty good, really. I mean, I think that would work pretty well for what it's intended for. It's intended for like real light brush and real heavy grass. So I'm gonna get this on the weed eater, get some gas in the weed eater, and we're gonna go down there and we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try to do I'm gonna really just focus on the high spots. I come in here last week and I fertilized the clover. I fertilized a lot of the bigger oaks that I left when I came in here in the late winter and did some TSI work. And we have got a ton of rain. I mean, a ton of rain. I don't remember having this much rain in a wet season like this in, I don't know, long time. So, that being said, we're going to take this down there and we're going to see how it does. I walked the access path into here and it wasn't that wet, so I just went ahead and drove the truck down in here, but we're walking in now. You can kind of already see the clover plot, but this bottom, this ridge wraps all the way around like that. There's a drainage, creek drainage right down here, and the ridge wraps around. This hill rolls down into this little bottom. Everything kind of meets right here by the creek. So that hillside over there, there's a finger that comes off of that main ridge over here. I did a bunch of TSI work in there earlier in the spring, late winter. I've got a stand location and the point of this group of trees. There's a bench right up here, and then there's a big highline right away that goes like this, goes up the hill. Well, there's a bench right here that comes off the highline right away. Those deer will cruise that bench back and forth. There's a few doe bedding areas down here on some finger ridges, and these bucks will cruise right through here, this bottom, cruise right down that 2-track, scent checking these does and bumping in there in that doe bedding. I've had that stand there, I don't know, probably 3 years now. Killed 2 deer out of it last year. And then they'll come down, they'll cross that bench. There's 2 creek crossings right down here. I'll show you in a little bit. It comes up, they start going up the side of this hill right here. I've got another tree stand back there. You can't really see it, but there's a big oak back there. I got a tree stand in that oak. And they're pinched down right in front of that stand. I shot a really good, he was an 8, maybe he might have been a 10, but he was a 8 with some kickers, and I shot him in there like October 22nd with my longbow. And long story short, I didn't end up recovering that deer, but this is one of the better spots on our whole entire property. So one thing about this bottom that I think makes it so good, it's just simply the fact of how many things you have coming together in this bottom. You have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 finger ridges that dump into this creek bottom. You have a ton of natural browse diversity. You've got post oaks, you've got blackjacks, you've got wildflowers, you've got the clover now. You've got over here in this corner, this right here, these are all sand plums, Mexican sand plums. There's persimmons in this bottom. And then there's these blackberries. There's just a lot of things going on in here. All right, so we got her weed eated. It's a lot of weed eating, but That's what it takes sometimes when you can't get the equipment you need to get in somewhere. That is all 85% clover. There's spots in it that I'm gonna have to, I mean, obviously this is a process. It's not something that usually you're not gonna take a overgrown field unless you come in and spray it and turn it over, spray it again, let it sit. You know, I don't want to do that. You know, I'm not real big on chemicals anyway, so try to do this is try not to affect what's naturally going on here. I don't want to add anything foreign besides, you know, any chemical that way. As you guys can see, there's a lot of wildflowers growing. It's looking good. It's looking good. So hopefully with mowing it, that'll help kind of kick the weeds back and let the clover really take off. I think I can definitely tell a difference from before I fertilized it to now. I mean, it's significantly taller. I don't think we have rain for like the next few days, but this ground's super wet, so it should be all right. I kind of would have rather have come in here and done this right before rain, but I got to do it when I can do it. So, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. This is the best clover plot I've got to establish on this piece of property. So far so good. Let's just hope, like typical Oklahoma fashion, it doesn't turn off, be 110 for 20 days and no rain whatsoever. So let's just pray that doesn't happen. But yeah, you can see where I had to bring the truck in and get the tractor unstuck. The tractor was stuck right there. So I gotta get some ag tires for it. It's just got turf tires on it right now. That's what was on it when I bought it. So, but all in all, I'm pretty happy. I mean, anything on this property is going to help because, I mean, this is northeast Oklahoma. There's not, at least around this property, there's no ag for miles and miles and miles. So, just hardwood ridges and hay meadows. So, anything you can get going or get established will benefit the wildlife. So I'm going to get my hand spreader and I'm going to spread some wildflower seeds. I would like to make this area as diverse as possible, more so than it is already now. I'm going to come in here and hit these bare spots in this clover plot with some of that wildflower seed, because we're not just trying to benefit the deer. We're trying to get turkeys back. We haven't had turkeys in years. Rabbits, pollinators, birds, you name it. If it's wildlife, we want to try and support it here. So I'm going to walk up to the truck and get the spreader and the wildflower seed. So these are the wildflower mixes we're going to be adding to and around the plot. I picked these up at Tractor Supply. I've never used them before. I just seen these bags of wildflower seeds in bulk. Usually you only see them in little packages, and it's kind of expensive if you try to buy enough of those to do what I'm trying to do out here. So we're going to get them down. It's pretty wet out there. I'm going to try to walk them in as best I can, and we'll see how it does. It is a warm one. Definitely got to stay hydrated. People say all the time, why do you go out there in the heat of the summer and why do you do all these improvements? And it's like, well, if you want opportunities to, improve your deer herd, and if you want to have the opportunities at good deer every year, and have a healthy herd, then you've got to make these improvements if you can. I mean, if you have the ability to, and it's not just about me. I might not ever see the benefits, the reward of some of this stuff that I'm doing, but my boys will, and that's what it's about, better the deer herd, make a healthier deer herd for the generations on down the line, I mean, hopefully. I'm gonna go check this stand sight camera. I haven't checked it since last season, and it's still rolling. Wild view. Don't sleep on wild view. Let's go. This is that creek crossing I was talking about. It comes off of that clover field. Everything pinches down to this one crossing. Rolls up to here, out of the creek to this little bench. There's a real thick finger right here. Lots of doe bedding in there. That bench I was talking about is up here, and that highline right away goes like this. At the head of that creek, there's another bench. They follow that ridge around, they cross that bench, cross the head of that ditch, come down the ridge along the creek, hit this bench, and drop down right here. And they either turn and go this way, because there's real thick bedding over here too, or they can go up on that other ridge side, go across the road to the other point of the main ridge. That's where we were at earlier. Or they come down here, they go down the old 2 track, where they come right here. This is usually where they come. You can kind of see the trail right there, but there's also a trail. Oh, where is it? There's a trail that cuts through right here. And it wraps down. They go right down here. They cross the creek. They go up through there. You can see that clearing right there. You can kind of see it right there. That's where I've got that other stand at. They walk right by me at like 10 yards. So it sets up really good. This is probably my favorite stand on the entire property. You want to kill the top tier deer in this area, this is a really good spot to do it. So it's proven year in and year out. I've just luck of the draw, not picked the right days to set in this spot. So, but we're figuring it out. There's my stand set. I don't know if you can see it, but it's tucked in that oak right there. This is that camera I was talking about. We're fixing to check it. This thing's been running since last season and still taking pictures. So I'm gonna check this camera real quick.